It started with a whisper, a faint scratching from beneath the floorboards of my new apartment. I'd just moved into this charming old building, the kind with creaky floors and a history that felt almost tangible. At first, I dismissed the sounds. Old buildings settle, right? Mice, maybe. I told myself it was nothing, just the house breathing around me. But the scratching grew more insistent, more rhythmic. It wasn't the frantic scuttling of a rodent. It was slow, deliberate. Scrape, pause, scrape. It always happened at night. Just as the city outside fell silent and the darkness in my room felt absolute. One night, I couldn't ignore it anymore. The sound was directly under my bed. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the unsettling rhythm from below. The scratching stopped. A profound silence filled the room, so heavy it felt like a pressure against my ear. And then a whisper. It was so faint I almost missed it. A dry, papery sound that slithered up through the cracks in the floor. "Let me in," I recoiled, scrambling back from the bed, my breath catching in my throat. Was I imagining it? Sleep deprivation, stress from the move. It had to be boob, it wasn't. The next day I noticed something else. A thin, dark line was seeping up between two of the floorboards, right where I'd heard the voice. It looked like ink, or maybe oil, but it had no smell. As the day wore on, the stain spread, branching out like a dark, skeletal hand. I tried cleaning it, scrubbing until my knuckles were raw, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if the darkness was part of the wood itself, a stain on the very soul of the house. That night, the scratching was louder, more desperate. The whisper returned, no longer faint, but clear and demanding. "I know you're there. Let me in." Panic began to set in. I piled books and furniture on top of the spreading stain, a futile attempt to weigh it down, to keep whatever was down there from coming up. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Every creak of the building sent a jolt of terror through me. I started seeing things in the periphery of my vision, flickering shadows that danced just out of sight, a tall, gaunt figure standing in the corner of my eye. Gone the moment I turned to look. The whisper was no longer just from the floor. It was in the walls, in the pipes, in the wind rattling the window panes. It was everywhere. One evening, I returned from work to find the furniture ID piled on the floor, scattered across the room. The dark stain had grown, now a large, ominous pool in the center of the floor. And from the very middle of it, a single floorboard had been pushed up, splintered from below. The scratching was gone. A deep, guttural breathing had taken its place, rising from the black void that had opened in my floor. I stood frozen, staring at that sliver of darkness, that gateway. The whisper came again, not from the floor this time, but from right behind me, a cold breath on my neck. "You can't keep me out forever." I spun around, but of course nothing was there. Just me and the shadows, which seemed to stretch and writhe, reaching for me. I finally understood. It wasn't trying to get into my apartment. It was already here. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the story, be sure to like and subscribe for more chills. Stay safe out there.